Here's who has and hasn't qualified for the first Republican presidential debate. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video. And today, it is time that we talk about the 2024 Republican presidential primary and discuss, as of now, who has and hasn't qualified for the first Republican presidential debate. And also go over who has a likely chance of qualifying in the next coming weeks, because the debate, it's August 23rd. That's less than 2 weeks away, and it will be in the great city of Milwaukee. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. You love the daily content? Well, this is the best way to support it. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody, let's get into it. And let me be clear. This could theoretically change on who will qualify, and who knows, maybe somebody like Trump may not go to the debate, but we'll get to it, alright? So, again, if you don't remember the threshold, there is 3 parts, I would say. 1, candidates must attract at least 400 or 40,000 unique donors, with at least 200 unique donors per state. Mark easy for the best known figures in the race to hit, but one that lesser known figures have used gift card or offers, concert tickets, and more to reach. So they're trying to make sure, hey, you gotta be able to raise some money. At least get your name out there. If you can't get 40,000 donors in a few months, how the hell do you expect to win? So I actually agree this is a good qualification. Second, candidates must reach at least 1% in 3 national polls that meet the RNC's requirement, or at least 1% in 2 national polls and 2 polls from separate early voting states. Now, I understand they want to, prevent, like, say, I don't freaking know, Corey Stapleton from trying to get into the debate. But in my opinion, if you get 1% in a national poll, I would just say 1, and it's of course with the requirements of like at least 800 sample size or whatever, then just let them on the debate. Like, let Perry Johnson debate. I'm getting sick and tired of, oh well, he's a no-name candidate and stuff, but it's like he's hit 40,000 donors. It's just some polling, they're not adding him. No matter what, they're just not adding somebody like, say, Perry Johnson. He's hit every other qualification. So I do think that this should have just been like, 1 poll with 1%, and then like 1 separate poll in like Iowa. That should have been the requirement, not, oh, you need 3 separate ones. And I understand they're trying to prevent, random Joes from showing up, but still, it's like, you already got the 40,000 donor limit. Just get the freaking 1% in 1 poll, and that should call it. Finally, candidates must sign the RNC's Beat Biden pledge, a commitment to back the eventual Republican nominee, no matter who wins the primary, which I mostly agree with, but we'll get to it because there are certain people that not the biggest fan of it, and I can understand a certain person. So there are 5 candidates that have fully qualified. The first one, of course, being Ron DeSantis. The Florida governor told reporters Thursday in Iowa he had signed the RNC's pledge. The goal needs to be to defeat Joe Biden and change the direction of the country, DeSantis said. That mission is bigger than any one person, and so you've got to be willing to step up. And I realize that this is a team effort, so I was proud to do that. So I'm glad that DeSantis actually did sign the pledge, which we'll get to Trump in a second, but it's the bare minimum. But it's like, if you care so much about beating Biden, why are you still running? You're trending downwards, and we all know Trump is more than likely gonna be the nominee. So if you want to beat Biden, it's like, I don't know. Of course, Nikki Haley, the former South Carolina governor and U.S. ambassador to the UN, on Thursday tweeted a photo of her signed pledge, dated Wednesday. And she did a little bit of a corny thing where she crossed out the phrase beat Biden and written President Harris instead. Why? You're going against Biden. I know he's not all there, but it's like, this is obviously a pandering thing. It's kind of cringe. He's trying to appeal to, like, boomers that care way too much about, it's actually Kamala Harris running the country and some other crap like that. It's like, just sign the frickin' pledge and be done with it. Ramaswamy also got into the debate, which I'm shocked about still, his rise. You could say what you want about him. The fact is, he was a no-name 5 months ago, and now in some polling, he's beating DeSantis. And he also has I would say, a money laundering scheme with the, how people can get a 10% cut of the money that they get to the campaign, which is like, seems kind of suspicious, but, hey, it works. But arguably, the biggest surprise of any of these, fully qualified candidates, it's Doug Burgum. He did something that was freaking genius, and now every other candidate is trying to copy him. It was a scheme, as they put it, in which his campaign offered $20 gift cards in exchange for $1 donations. The little-known North Dakota governor met the donor minimum. His campaign announced Thursday he has also signed the pledge. So, Burgum, I gotta give it to him. A no-name governor who is already polling at like 6% in New Hampshire, and multiple polls have him at 1, 2, even 3% nationally. And he did try something actually very unique. I mean, he could self-fundraise. And which, this is the one part that I could see why the donor limit may be a bit because Burgum could just self-fund to a lesser extent. So he just pretty much paid people to give him $1 donation. Because he doesn't need the money, he just needed the donors. He just needed the 40,000 unique donors. And while everybody's trying to copy that now, you have Francis Perez, we'll get to in a second. And of course, Tim Scott, we all knew about this. Which, I've been looking more at Scott, and I'm actually surprised. He hasn't been absolutely atrocious like I thought he was going to be. But yeah, those are the 5 candidates that have signed the pledge, got the donors, and they got the polling. But now there's 3 candidates that, oh boy, this is where I think this is going to get a bit chaotic. Of course, we got former Vice President Pence, who somehow, barely made the donor threshold. There was a good chance he didn't even qualify for this debate, because he didn't reach 40,000 donors. He was at like 10,000 2 weeks ago. He got freaking lucky. The fact that a random mayor from Miami and the governor of North Dakota that nobody knew about, the fact they qualified for the debate before him, the former vice president from 3 years ago, what does that tell you about how people think about Pence? Of course, Christie, he has been the vehemently anti-Trump candidate. There's no other way to put it. That's how he's gotten all the support. He's getting like the 5 to 10% never-Trumpers in the GOP. But they've all qualified, including Trump himself. But it's one thing holding everybody back. The pledge. Listen, if Trump doesn't show up to the debate, that is why. Because, again, I think that every Republican should unite to beat Biden. But why would Trump want to support Christie, who wants him thrown in jail? Or Hutchinson? Or Hurd? And I know they're at like 1%, but it's like, and in some cases below 0, but it doesn't matter. Why would you want to support somebody that that want to throw you in jail? Same thing like Pence, he would have to be forced to support Trump. Same thing with Christie. I think Christie's going to grift on, well, I'll support the GOP nominee. It's not going to be Trump, so yeah, I'll support this pledge. But I think Trump, and I still think Trump's going to go. This is Donald Trump we're talking about here. He's somebody that loves debates and mocking people. And that's one of his best things. Debates, I really want to see him go after Christie, go after, Pence. I want to see the entertainment, and everybody does. And the GOP is basically begging Trump participate in the debate. Now, as for the rest of the idiots, you have, Ask Hutchinson. Why are you running? All he has done is, gotten some polling. He's at 1% in, Iowa. That's it. That's the only thing he has. Doesn't have the donor limit. I don't think he signs the pledge. It's one of those things where it's like, why are you running? And same thing with, Francis Perez. He's trying to, his reasoning is he hasn't polled high enough. But it's like, why are you running? At least with Perry Johnson, hey, you can make an argument this is a setup to potentially run in Michigan next year. And quite frankly, I think he is getting screwed over in the polling. They're not letting him participate in the polls. And when they do, he does get 1%. So I think of these 5 idiots down here, actually 4, when you include Perry Johnson, who's not an idiot. I actually do kind of like him. Johnson, just let him debate. He signed the pledge, or at least I believe he did. He's gotten the donor limit because he used t-shirts and stuff. But I do wonder, why won't they just let him debate? He's reached everything else. And of course, haven't met criteria. Why is Elder here? I completely forgot Larry Elder is running. Will Hurd? Think about this. That, hey, I gotta be the pro-LGBT anti-gun Republican. That's gonna sure sit with many GOP voters. It's like, what are you freaking doing? So overall, of these 5 morons, the only one I could see maybe qualifying is Perry Johnson, because he is putting a lot of pressure on some polling, pollsters just to let him on the poll. And I think for the people that haven't signed the pledge, I think Christie will do it. I don't see him, not going. And of course, Pence, I think he'll go because he's at 2%. He needs a freaking miracle. But the big question mark is Trump. I still have this feeling he's going to show up. But, like I said, if they make an exemption for him at the debate where it's like, you don't technically need to sign this pledge, I would say he would go. But the pledge is the one thing where it's like, you'd be forced to support somebody like Christie? No. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, we are still under 2 weeks away from the debate. Things could change, but as of now, it's looking like we will have 8 candidates, or for sure 7. 8, maybe with Trump, hopefully 9. Just let Johnson debate. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.